Alright, guys, welcome. We're doing it again. We're doing a story time. This story time is a mix to my last story time. Is about a situation I got myself in. Okay. So, my last video, I mentioned that I cheated on a girl. And because of that, obviously, that relationship ended. And the girl that I cheated on with told me to go date the other girl. So I did. And I dated her. And first couple months, it was great. It was amazing. And then it wasn't. I remember periods of that relationship, which I am going to tell you about. Like, whenever I would try to leave her house, she would grab me by my ankles and drag me back in. I wasn't allowed to leave her house. And if I tried, she'd cry, scream, and basically just beat on me. I never really got any bruises or anything. I have gotten cut. I do have a scar from her. Right here. Somewhere here. In this area. I don't know, it was bad. It was toxic. I wasn't allowed to have friends that weren't her friends. I wasn't allowed to go see anyone else. If I went somewhere, she'd have to know when, where, who, what, why. She'd have to know everything. Which no one should have to explain that much, even if you're dating someone. It should be where and when, and maybe who. But it should not be when, where, what, why. It shouldn't be like that. There should be trust. And there was no trust in that relationship. She had no trust for me at all. Somehow I kept my cool for the most part. I do remember I did hit her once, which I am very shocked that it was only once. It was one of the times I was trying to leave her house, and she held me down. She was holding me, she was screaming in my face, and I couldn't leave. I had no mobility at all. So I just went like this against her leg. Because we were sitting crisscross applesauce like this. She was holding me down. Okay. I couldn't do anything. She's twice my size. Like, what am I going to do? So I had like enough mobility in my arms to just like right on her leg. And I stopped her. She got away. I left. And through all that, every day I wanted to break up with her. I just couldn't. Because I was scared. Which I had a good reason to be scared. Because whenever it happened, you know the gist. The relationship was horrible. I was treated horrible. So one day, got in a huge fight because I added a girl on Snapchat because I was her staff sergeant in JRC. And I thought it wouldn't be a problem because I'm her staff sergeant. She wanted to be able to get a hold of me to ask questions and be able to learn the questions that they needed to know for the inspection. Which, like, in my head, that why wouldn't that be a problem? If I'm not flirting with her or talking to her in any sort of way, that shouldn't be a problem. But in her head, that was a huge problem. That was a huge issue. And she started screaming at me in the bathroom. And I tried to calm down the situation. It wasn't calming down. And like, she slammed me against those big metal boxes in the bathroom. In the female bathroom. If you've never been in a girl's bathroom, you probably don't know. But there's big metal boxes on the walls. They hold girl stuff. But she slammed me into that. And I slammed my back into that. That's probably one of the reasons why my back's messed up. And she's just like holding me up against the wall, screaming at my face. And I'm just telling her, like, I do not want to date her no more. Like, this stupid. Like, why are you yelling at me over this situation? There should be no reason at all of her yelling at me because of this. But she didn't see it that way. And I tried to leave the situation because if I can't calm down the situation, I'm just going to walk away from the situation. And she was not having it at all. Not having it. And I went to walk out the door and she grabs me and pulls me back. So I grabbed the wall to like try to pull myself back in because again, she's bigger than me. I'm small. Okay? I'm smaller than I am now. So she's grabbing me. Yeah, I'm grabbing the wall like this. And she's like pulling me in, back in. And I'm trying to pull myself out. And eventually she's grabbing onto my legs. Like my one leg. So like I'm only on one leg doing this. And she's just trying to yank me back in. Eventually I do end up flinging myself out of the bathroom. And I just like hit the floor. And I just get up and I attempt to run, but a teacher yells at me. So I walk down the hallway as fast as I can. She, for some weird reason, doesn't get yelled at by the teacher. And she's just sprinting after me, yelling my name. And also, in this situation, she has my phone, my wallet, and my watch. Okay? Because my wallet was left at her house. She has my phone and my watch because she asked for them so she could look through the messages. And you know, I wasn't hiding anything. So, yeah, have my phone. I don't care. And my watch. If you really want to think I deleted something off my phone. So, she had all three of those. And I'm walking down the hall. She's screaming at me. She engaged to me. We were engaged, okay? I didn't want to be engaged. But again, she scared me. So, if I could ever find that video, I'll show it to you guys. But in the video, I don't look like I want to do it. Like, I don't look like I want to say yes. But she was such a scary person that I just said yes because what would happen if I say no? So I said yes. So we were engaged. So I threw the ring she gave me on the floor. And I yelled over at her, and I'm like, we're over, we're done. Okay. And then we reach this one corner of the hallway, and she runs up on me, and she goes, what do you mean we're over? Blah, 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 blah. Just like screaming at my face. And like, I'm over it. Like, I need to go to class. The bell rang. We're like 5 minutes into class. I'm gonna be late. okay? And like, this is my senior year. I'm trying to actually succeed my senior year. And she's just yelling at me, screaming at me in my face. So I tell her, keep my phone, keep my wallet, keep my watch. I don't care, okay? Because that's the only reason I was talking to her. The only reason I was talking to her is because she has my phone, my wallet, and my watch. So, like, I tell her, I don't care, keep it, okay? So I walk away and go to class without my phone or my watch. Well, it's at her house, so I couldn't even get it at that time. And I go to class, and then she texts me on Google Meets, which is the school Gmail way to text people throughout the school. Or at least was at the time. I don't think they have that no more because we ruined it. Probably for these situations because they could read through those text messages. I text her and I tell her that we are over, we're done, okay? And then she tells me, she starts just screaming at me through the text messages. I didn't even read half the shit because, like, I was over her. I didn't want to read that shit. I know half the shit that she was saying was, like, basically bullshit. And she's yelling and screaming at me because she was a piece of shit my entire relationship. Well, that was a factor of why I broke up with her. But, like, she's screaming at me, she's yelling at me over me not cheating on her. Very confusing. I even told her I would unadd her, but it was still an issue. But she's still yelling on about that situation, and like I don't even care about that situation anymore. Okay. And she goes, meet me in the 300 bathroom to get your phone and watch. And I'm like, oh, she's actually gonna give it back. So I said, okay. And I go over there. I went in the bathroom alone, but there was someone outside of the bathroom. Her name was, I'm not gonna say her name actually because YouTube, but there was someone outside of the bathroom. She was my best friend at the time. Which she was fine with her, but not the, she was confusing. But, I had her standing outside of the bathroom. I walk into the bathroom. She has her cousin, 3 of her friends, and her in the bathroom. Okay. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I walk into the bathroom. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she starts screaming at me in my face. And I'm like, bro, can I have my phone and wallet back? Like, watch back. And she gave me my phone. She handed me my phone. And then she threw my watch at my face. And it hit this scar right here. Which, this scar right here was new at the time. So, just barely healed. Stitches just came out, kind of healed. So she hit me right here. My lip just starts bleeding. Okay. And I get my watch and I leave. I go to my second class with just blood dripping down my face. And that was the end of that day. But the next day, I go to school. School's fine. School's good. School's dandy. Nothing happens at school that I know of, that I remember of. Other than the fact I wasn't allowed to go in the bathrooms. That was a thing. Because I did try to go to the bathroom, and then there was people there, and then they tried to beat me up, so I left. But I went to the high school football game, which I didn't even want to go. which didn't even want to go. And my friend told me, best friend, told me that I needed to go because bad situation just happened. Let's go have some fun. And I'm like, all right, fine. Let's go have some fun. Little did I know that fun ended very fast. She shows up to the football game that I am at. I didn't even know she showed up. That's the thing. I was at the concession stand talking to my friends, and then suddenly I just feel something right here on my face. Hard. But I flew like this and bashed my head against a brick wall. And I stood up, I shook my head. I was like, what the fuck? I look around, no one in sight. Didn't even see what the fuck hit me. Okay. And my friend told me that it was her. So like I believed her because she probably seen it. I didn't. So she socked me in the face and then just disappeared. So I'm like, alright, what? Am I good now? Like, was it just the one punch she needed? So I went over to this other one of my friend's dad and just sat by him for a little bit, for maybe like 30 minutes, not even. And we went back up to the concession stand to get me a hot chocolate because I was cold. And fucking, I bought a hot chocolate. I'm drinking my hot chocolate. I'm waiting for my friends to finish getting their shit. Because now there's 5 of us now in the group. Because it was just me and my friend at first. But now there's like 5 of us. So I'm waiting to get my hot chocolate. And I see her running right at me. Okay? And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay? So like, I go over to tell my friend. And they're like, okay, I'll make sure nothing happens. And I'm like, alright. Because like, she looking at me and heading towards my direction. And my friend is smaller than me, so like her and me aren't really gonna stop this woman. Cause like this was a big girl, muscular, not fat, but like muscular, beefy girl. Okay. So like, we're not gonna stop her. So she barges right through my friend and just socks me in the other side of my face. But whenever she socks me, I had my hot chocolate in my hand, and she socked my hot chocolate up, splashed my hot chocolate all over my face, and socked me in the face in the process. So now I got hot chocolate all over me. Got punched in the face twice, and she disappeared again. Now I'm like, what the fuck? So like me and my friends start walking away, and she comes back, but she comes back from the behind. Okay, she just starts beating on my head, just beating the shit out of me. So I go like this to cover where she's hitting me. Okay, because she's from behind. So first reaction is to go like this. Okay, so that's what I did. I went like this, and my friends grabbed her because now it's the whole group. So I got like one tall ass friend. So the tall ass friend just grabbed her and pulled her away. And she ends up just sitting on the floor crying. Okay. And I'm like, what the fuck? So like I start walking away, and then she comes back and starts bashing me in the head again. But like while she's bashing me in the head, she starts screaming that she loves me and shit like that. And I'm just like, what the heck? I'm like, you are so glad that like she so lucky that she was a woman Because, like, I would have socked her in the face. I would have turned around and socked her in the face if she was not a woman. But she was. And we are on school property. So I was just like, I got 5 friends. I'm just gonna let her hit me until they get her off. So they did. They got her off, and she starts crying on the floor again. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with this crazy ass woman? Cause like, why are you crying? Why are you telling me you love me and punching me in the head? But at this point, my friends formed a circle around me, so like she can't even like get near me. Okay. So like, I'm in the middle, one friend here, one friend here, one friend here, one friend here. Like that's how it worked. And that's how we were walking. At some point, she gets me up against a fence though. Because one of my friends had to go talk to their dad. So like the circle was broken. And she runs in, grabs me, throws me up against the fence. She starts screaming at my face, bashing my head in. I duck down and like try to get like out of the situation, which I did. So then my friends are just like standing by me and watching, like I'm watching her, everyone's watching her, okay, at this point. Everyone's eyes are on this girl because she just ran up on me how many times and beat the shit out of me. She probably did it more times than what I'm explaining. Like, this is what I'm explaining. This is like the gist. Or like, it's the story, but not the full story. Because the full story is going to take like 30 minutes on its own. But she's over there. And my one friend, the short one, the small one, walks over and starts talking to her. And she just starts screaming at her face. I don't even know why. Like, she was screaming at her face about how she's trying to steal her man and stuff like that. First off, me and this girl never dated in our lives, okay? We were only friends. And I broke up with her because she's crazy. Which, obviously, she's proving that by doing this. So why are you screaming at my friend about her trying to steal her man? Whenever all she's doing is trying to protect me because you're crazy. But, again, she's crazy. She gets screamed at. My friend calls someone, and on the meantime of us calling them, walk away besides one. And she comes up to me and she's like, let me just talk to you. And I go, I really do not want to talk to you right now. Which is a valid reason to say. And then she starts going on about how she loves me and all that shit. And I'm like, if you love me, why the fuck would you do this then? You know? Why would you beat the shit out of me? I don't know. She's gotten help now. Because I do still talk to her. I didn't talk to her after this, obviously. But now I do. And she's gotten help. She does not live where I live no more. So, me saying this is not, I'm just telling a story, okay? But my friend, as we're having this conversation, she's going on and on and on about how much she loves me. And like, I'm just like, I don't want to talk to you. And then she told me to tell her that I loved her and to give her a kiss and say goodbye. And I said no. Because why would I do that? You just beat the shit out of me. Why would I? That makes no sense whatsoever. But my friend, as we're having this conversation, is on the phone with someone, and I go to leave, tries hitting me again, as my friend's calling over and was like, yo, we got a ride, let's leave. And I'm like, okay. I try leaving. She tries grabbing me, and I don't know if she was gonna hit me again or what, but like she tried grabbing me and like pulling me back, and I just said no, like I'm leaving, and we sprinted out of there, and that was the end of that. But that is my little story time. Again, she's not crazy now. I mean, she probably still is, but not as crazy. But make sure to like and subscribe. There's my little story time. I'm gonna try to do a lot more of these. Because I think these would hopefully reach out to more people, and this is actually what I wanted to do on YouTube. So, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah. The moral of the story, though, is to help individuals. Same as the other one. To help individuals who have been in situations like this, or can know about situations like this, and know that other people have been through it. And in my best opinion is, if you see signs at all, leave. Do not get stuck in a bad relationship. It is not good. It is not fun. And if this reaches people and people have questions, I will 100% gladly answer those questions for anyone who needs the answers. But this is Alex's life. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.